Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
This Monday, not only are we having a Chad party, Chemda, but
We're competing.
we'll be playing the Newlywed Game,
Yep.
which we've done before to great success. It's everybody's favorite time of the year. But
Everyone walks away crying.
yes. Well, it was me and my wife at the time against Chemda and Hennessy, her husband at the time.
Well, we weren't married.
Well, we played no problems anyway, is my point. We played the game, and now no one's together.
That's right.
So we're going to do it again.
I kind of hope I lose this time because last time I won and I lost in that marriage.
Kyle and I against Chemda and Xerxes. Very exciting.
And hosting it will be Andrea Allen.
Oh,
my goodness.
Oh, and she knows how to make people cry.
So this Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, just go to our YouTube channel. It's under Keith and the Girl. And if you can't find that, just always go to our website, keithandthegirl.com.
There you have it. Don't forget about the free app. It is laughable.com. You subscribe to a podcast, but you can also subscribe to a person. So if you subscribe to Keith Malley or Chemda, you'll hear us on any podcast of any kind that we've ever been on. For example, I'm on Dante Nero's podcast, just came out. It's now called Man School 202. And the title of that show is Catfishing Your Dad with Keith Malley. You can hear that there. All right, free app.
What was their response to that?
Their jaw's on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird one to retell, right? Because we've normalized it in the studio. We're just like, let's hear from Keith's dad again. But all the stuff to be relating in like 20 minutes to an hour is crazy.
Yeah, I think you'll like him. All right, today's guest, he's been on MTV, CNN, the Los Angeles Times, CNBC, People Magazine, BuzzFeed, TBS's New York Comedy Festival, Dan LaMorte.
That was so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, yeah, that's mostly just like tweets being in places.
Okay. That's what it's about.
I'll humble myself off the bat.
I have some tweets we'll go through.
Uh-oh.
Last time you were on, it was the first time you were on. It was
Yeah.
August 21st, 2017.
Wow.
And you were talking about sobriety was a conversation.
Uh-oh.
You have been sober for 5 months, but at the time you were still drinking. Is that something you're looking into? Because you lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Is that thanks to celiac disease?
Yes, celiac disease.
Good for
It's
you.
been all the gluten. Giving up gluten has been everything.
Isn't that the worst though? I mean, it's a much
yeah.
more friendly world for the gluten-free, but and I don't mean to shame you, but I'm about to.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you sound like an asshole when it's like, does it have bread in it? Does it have gluten?
At first, I worried about that, but then like the reactions were so severe that I was getting like hospitalized and stuff. So I was like, honestly, I'm fine being an asshole if I don't get like this sick.
Right.
It's just tough because like my dad owns an Italian deli,
Oh.
so like bread has been in my life for so long.
Sure.
And like this was a recent diagnosis. Like my liver was really fucked up, and the doctor's just like, it's probably because you drink a lot. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I stopped drinking. I was like, wait.
Right.
Why is shit still fucked up? And they were like, oh, maybe you should give up bread. And I was like, should we give up liquor again?
Right. Was that exciting to learn it wasn't liquor?
No, I would rather. I did go back to drink, but I would rather have bread. I think.
You going by your tweets at least.
Yeah.
And your stand-up. You smoke a lot.
Yeah. It's been a very stoned year.
Right. Are you ever sober? Okay.
Moments of the day.
Right. In LA, what's that like? I mean, it's everywhere now. Never mind, it's everywhere in New York, but that you can. It's still amazing to me.
It
that you
never
can walk
doesn't get
into a
amazing.
place. Yeah.
And just walking on the street with a joint in your hand, not worrying at all about what people are thinking.
And I don't think that people remember this. Before, when you got in touch with a drug dealer, you'd be like, hey, you have any of that green or something like that. Not that I have like a lot of experiences with this, but I know when I first started, like, I can text a drug dealer and I can be straight honest. I would like an ounce. How much is that of weed? To be clear, sour diesel. Like, I'm ordering off
It used
a menu.
to just be weed, and now you have menus.
Yeah, they send you a menu. If you ever texted a drug dealer here, like, they'll 6 months later you haven't texted.
Oh, yeah, they have like a stock email.
Yeah, suddenly they'll
send
send out
everyone.
a blast. They're like, hey, how about these deals?
Yeah.
And it'll just be like purple haze, this amount, sour diesel, this amount. I'm like, where are the codes?
Yeah.
Everybody knows, the police know.
It's so interesting.
Speaking of your tweets, here's one. The thing I miss about LA at the moment is not having to call the dispensary to ask, are you the guy under the tree or next to the dumpster?
I hate having to deal with drug dealers, and I love a lot of my drug dealers, but I need to find a new one. My last one retired.
Are drug dealers trying to fight the legalization of marijuana?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't spend enough time with them.
Right.
I don't think so because I think they're less afraid of getting caught now. So
Yeah.
now when they're riding the train and they're, packed with stuff that would obviously be like, you're going to sell this or whatever, I think they're less afraid.
Maybe. I know the last guy I would buy the cartridges from, like the little weed cartridges, he stopped doing it because he was getting so scared. Like he had so many friends getting busted for the cartridges in New
Oh.
Jersey, weirdly.
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess, I don't know. I guess the drug dealers are still scared.
I just decided they're not.
He rates, I have friends who don't know that their parents smoke weed with me. And that means more to me than most of those friendships.
That is true.
What?
I have a few friends who honestly would be unhappy if they found out their parents smoked weed, I think, because for some reason it's a lot of the kids I grew up with became very straight edge, Republican straight edge
Right.
dudes in New Jersey who don't like to have their parents doing that stuff. And sometimes a parent just needs to come over and have a joint,
Wow, what's it like to be such a prick? Like
It's
as
amazing.
as a person, just I don't want my parents smoking
Yeah, can you
weed.
imagine being that just
Oh my God, I raised you and this is what you came up with? Oh boy, what did I do?
it's a nice feeling to know that the parents go to me to an escape.
Right.
I mean, I think that makes me better friends with them, honestly. Like, yeah, your kid sucks.
You're not scared to travel with weed. Like you have LA weed on you here in New York. You're not scared?
Out of LAX, I'm not scared.
Okay.
I don't think I wouldn't fly out of like Newark with weed. When I flew from last month from Newark to LA, they had this thing where you walk side by side before the TSA, and a dog just trots behind you while you're walking for like 25 feet.
Oh no.
And like, I'm sure it's not a drug sniffing dog. It's probably like bombs. But when you go to the airport high, that's an awful thing to have behind you.
Yeah, that's scary. I get scared when I see dogs in the airport because I'm like, how would my hair not smell like weed?
Yeah.
Like I didn't take a shower this morning. I'm going
I
on
was
an
thinking
airplane.
about like they have to not teach the dogs about weed, right? Because it smells like it everywhere.
It would be crazy. Your shirt has marijuana leaves on it. I bet they could smell that. That's crazy.
Your parents smoke now.
Yes, to an extent. They have their own, edibles, the cartridges. They don't actually like smoke.
Do they go through you?
Yes, at times. They don't do it often, but it's like I could tell when things might be like they're getting a little stressed that will work. They'll be like,
Right.
"Hey, what's it looking like, man?"
Will they try to get their hands on weed, but you know better weed? And you're like, Ma, it's the golden years. Have
I don't
the good
know
stuff.
If they were doing that, I'd be so upset if they were going behind my back thinking that'd be worse than like the friend's parents smoking with me. Yeah.
What was it like when they first started? Did they admit it to you? Did you catch
We
them?
did it together for their first. It was about 2 years ago. It was an edible.
Why
It
are
was a
you so
cookie.
cool with your parents? How does this exist in the world?
You know what? I was a shit kid and a shit teenager, and I think I put them through the ringer, and then eventually we got out of it, and we were like, hey, let's just be friends at this point. No,
So-
we were always close. I'm an only child. We were always like,
So they were always cool, right?
yeah, my parents were always. I mean, they were strict because I was, not the best kid, but they became friends after like I would say 18 years old.
Has just a quick question: has your dad ever tried to fuck an ex of yours?
No,
Okay, so there's some differences.
not that I know of.
Okay, I can understand that.
I wish for the material.
When you were on before, you were talking about bending over while you were driving, picking up. happened to be a culotta on the floor from
Yep.
Dunkin' Donuts,
Unfortunately,
and you had a traumatic brain injury.
I did.
How remind me how bad that fucked you up, and are there still repercussions?
So I had 2 accidents. I don't know if I was on before the second one. It might have been right around that same time, but I had 2.
You,
in
you
this-
told about
yeah,
both. One
both.
was the other guy's fault, but
Yeah,
this
yeah,
story
yeah.
is exciting to me.
Yeah, they.
Yeah. We know you went through 2 accidents.
I would say the 2 of those, they fucked me up for a while. The problem is now that I smoke so much weed, I don't know if I'm having memory problems from the car accidents or
Okay.
just because I'm stoned all the time. Because, like, I'm not the smartest stoner. I get shit done. I'm not lazy, but I don't
Right.
put sentences together that great.
Right, but
So
you
who
look
knows what happened?
and you look around the world and you think, who cares?
Yeah, who gives a
Yeah.
shit?
No one knows what they're doing.
If anything, I like now that more people know that I'm stoned because it's like, all right, now you guys know I'm this weird at least.
Yeah, I can leave mid conversation. I'm high.
Yeah, like you are, like everyone know, like my family knows, my grandparents. I smoked weed with my grandparents.
Are you better stoned?
As an individual,
No, as a whole, as one of the universe.
yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm much better stoned. Like music, obviously, like the normal stuff. Music's better. I get along better with people. I'm a better driver.
How about sex?
Better.
Yeah.
But the dry mouth is tough. It almost makes it impossible unless you have some dry mouth remedies.
Someone-
Still working on a few.
Someone's fucking you and you're like,
I was thinking more for the foreplay.
okay.
But I guess if we just want to get right into it, we could just smoke, you know.
He tweeted, last 4th of July, I tried to down a 30-pack of Budweiser. This 4th of July, I just made sure that my parents had cauliflower crust pizzas for the party. What a difference a year makes.
And I almost did get the 30 down. We went to an axe throwing range in New Jersey.
What is going on with this axe throwing?
Yeah, I
Sounds
mean,
fun.
I'm not too far after my group left there, they got rid of the BYOB rule. Alcohol was banned from the premises.
Sure.
We had some close calls. Yeah,
What the fuck?
We drank too much beer, and my parents were there too. Cousins. It was a fun time though, and we tried to put down a 30-pack myself.
Right.
Wait,
didn't
so
end well.
what were the close calls?
An axe
Well,
on
just
somebody's
like when
back.
someone accidentally like turns around out of excitement, and you're like, ah, and they're facing you with the axe instead.
Oh,
I saw a video online recently though. The woman threw it, and it hit like off like the little guardrail and bounced back directly over her head.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Come on with the bounce
that
back.
makes you want to go do it again to make that happen. I want those views, baby.
You throw it, you catch it back.
Yeah, this time I'll try to catch. Honestly, if you try to catch it, viral video either way.
Right.
Yeah, no matter what.
So why try to
It's
catch
viral.
it?
Just vastly different websites what it'll be allowed on.
Well, you know what? This is a good time to mention this. A company called Brewmate. And maybe you wish you had this during your big drinking days. Brewmate keeps your beer, wine, whatever you're drinking, the right temperature. Now you can finally take a bottle of wine and hide it on the beach, have a little picnic, and keep the white cool, keep the red room temperature.
Well, I just recently bought 4 cups from there, and I also learned how to make frozen mojitos. Now I don't even drink, but I put them in these cups. So I didn't add the alcohol. I let people add it to their cup as it goes because we have some sober friends and we have some drinking friends, and that was the best because the inside lining kept that icy, and so it was like drinking a Slurpee with fresh mint. It's so good.
It's the largest, what you're talking about. They have the uncorked wine glasses, the largest insulated wine glass in the world.
It looks fancy. It looks nice.
You put like regular booze in it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
In this case, it holds a half a bottle of wine, but whatever you want.
But it
Wow,
looks-
imagine how much vodka that'd be.
Yeah.
A good amount.
The same amount, 14 ounces.
Yeah, and it keeps it a nice temperature.
Splash-proof lid because you're stumbling and bumbling.
Mhm. I'm
Right?
gonna take it hiking with me. Get to the top of a mountain, have a little tequila.
Yeah, you've
Yeah.
earned it.
I've earned it.
30 colors available. What's your favorite color?
Oh, that was tough. Red,
Yes.
pink,
Yeah,
blue.
yes.
Okay, I gave
Okay.
them options.
27 more to go.
Please don't make me name colors.
Don't settle for warm alcohol. You've earned it. Chill out with your favorite drinks all day long with Brewmate. Visit brewmate.com and add code KATG. Get 15% off your first order. Okay? That's 15% off your first order when you go to brumate.com. Brewmate.com and add the code
KATG.
That's right.
Woo.
Dan LaMorte tweet. Here's another one. I've lost 95 pounds since December, and I can really see it in the bags under my eyes.
I'm so fucking tired.
The worst part of having a majority of comedian friends is that when you lose weight, you start to get roasted for the flaws the fatness hid. It's so easy.
For the what?
It's so easy to
The
say.
flaws that the fatness hid.
It's easy to pick on somebody for being
Yeah.
fat, but now it's like, oh,
It
shit.
also lets you know which of your comic friends don't have fucking chops. But where are the bits now, buddy?
But now they have to pick on the personality, and that's real.
Yeah.
We can always pretend we can lose weight.
Yeah, they're like, man, you really can't make eye contact and don't like the way certain things feel. You're a weirdo. Huh? Yeah.
Didn't you know, by the way, I was saying on Monday's show how I went on that spa weekend and got a facial and all that. Do you know you're not supposed to use body lotion on your face?
Yeah, okay.
I just found that out.
I gotta be honest, I've never tried to, so I follow the rules.
I just take lotion. I put it on my face.
I do too. People think I'm crazy when they see me.
Kyle was telling me, well, you don't do that. I Google it. It comes up real big. No.
Really?
Now, nothing is that simple on the internet because people get paid by the word. I look up, is Saturday Night Live tonight? Saturday is a day off for most people. It's the 6th day of the week and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, just tell me the answer. Here, they're like, no.
No. I use a nice little cucumber face cream.
Well, I'm excited.
Oh, my goodness.
Everything's about to change, and I'm very excited.
You should try out the cucumber face cream.
Sure.
It smells delicious, and it's good for sensitive skin. I don't know if you get rashies like me.
I've been sleeping with entire cucumbers over my face. I tape them.
Over both ears.
I think I've been using cucumber wrong.
Dan tweeted out, imagine having a life so well put together that a horror movie scares you. I agree. I saw Annabelle the other day. I agree.
How was it?
I was surprised. I was surprised that I enjoyed it. That they have that horror room, the Warrens, in their house of all these
Good old Warrens.
possessed items. Well, a teenager breaks in and starts fucking around, and all the different things come to life. So it was a little exciting.
Okay.
But no, I'm not jumping up like an asshole.
I like there was one called It Follows. Real nice. It was scary. I like the ones that make me realize death is inevitable.
Okay, right.
Yeah, like really hit me at my core.
I hear somebody go in the theater, and I turn to them. I go, "No, you weren't.
You're so fun.
Why are you lying? Don't lie. I mean, enjoy it. You paid $600.
You're just yelling at kids for getting scared.
Really?
You're 7. Figure it out.
Well, this is very exciting. Chemda went to the movies, and I say that because she hasn't gone to the movies since ever. The only time she goes is when we do that movie review show.
Comedy film nerds.
That's the only time.
And that's only when we're in LA.
So you got to tell me the whole process. First of all,
He's so intrigued by
Yeah.
this. First of all, I tweet out, we're going to the movies, and I get a phone call from Keith right away.
immediately, I'm like, who hacked you?
And then when I'm done, I texted you right away.
Right.
And we had a conversation. I had to be like, wait, I'm on a date. Get out of here.
It makes no sense to me.
and then when
That
I come,
makes sense, though. The only time I go to movies is dates, and I really don't go to
Right.
the movies. That's a great date spot.
Well, yesterday, Chemda reviewed 2010's Inception as if it just came out.
I was dead on.
Right. So what do you see, first of all?
Well, okay, I would not have gone to see the movies. In fact, Xerxes was over, and I'm like, hey, you want to be an old married couple and just watch Netflix tonight? And he's like, let's go see a movie. And I was like, yeah, on my couch. And he's like, no, I'm telling you we're going to go outside.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, you really like doing shit? And he's like, yeah,
Was it like, did you think it's a joke you're not getting?
kind of.
Like the movies?
Yeah.
Like an elaborate prank.
yeah. Like,
Movies.
are you gonna keep looking at your phone like you're looking something up? Like,
Now, do you guys know ahead of time what you're going to see? Or are you like these people I see in the movie theater looking at posters? What's this one about?
oh, no.
I would need so much Xanax to do that. To go to the movies without knowing what I'm seeing.
no, I'd kill
I
myself.
remember an old lady looking at the movies with a friend, and she sees a poster for Wolverine and goes, I like him. I like his singing. I was seeing the same movie. I kept looking at them during the theater.
Yeah.
They're shocked. They can't believe there's knives coming out of the singer's
Yeah,
hands.
they thought they were seeing the Freddie Mercury movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Keith, you've been reading the top whatever movies, and they all sound like shit.
Top movies of the weekend, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why anyone goes out, but I do remember yesterday the
Beatles movie.
It was the only movie that stood out that wasn't like Spider-Man. Why would I watch that? Like, oh, I'm a little boy and I have no self-esteem, even though I could fucking swing from buildings. I never learned one lesson about like being a human being adult because when my mask gets thrown out, I turn into a fucking piece of shit. What?
Yeah, but that's more creative than being like, I got an idea. What if the Beatles never existed?
At least that's cute. It's cute. Like, where can we
When
go
I
in our
saw
imagination?
that, I was like, this is wild, this idea.
But it's okay, yeah, and I get that they're using the Beatles' popularity,
Yeah.
right? I don't know how they paid for that movie. They played
Was the music in
every
it?
Beatles song.
That must have cost so much.
So much. On top of having McKinnon on, Caitlin.
Kate
what?
McKinnon?
Yeah. So like you're paying her, you're paying the Beatles. Okay.
Right.
And apparently we paid for it $33 to go to the movies just to walk into the theater.
Now,
That paid for like a millisecond of Imagine.
Right?
so you knew what time you were going to see the movie.
Oh, well, he's like, what movie do you want to see? And I say yesterday, and I know if I say yesterday, we're going to see yesterday. Because if it was up to him, we'd see the Beatles everything.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like a huge fan. Like I said in another show, he goes to like the memorial every year for John Lennon.
And cries.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Nice.
Yeah. So, oh, yeah. Oh, is nice a very male way to be like,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was being like, I wish I could do that.
Cry.
A lot of walls up here. Public cry. Whoa.
You're in Strawberry Fields. Imagine. Indeed. Indeed. Imagine.
So he says, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, of all the movies, like what's out now? Of Cats and Dogs? What is that one?
Of Cats and Dogs Volume 2.
What the hell's that? What was volume 1?
Of Cats and Dogs 1.
What's it about?
She
Cats
means
and
The
Dogs?
Secret Lives of Pets.
Oh. What about The Secret Life of Walter Mitty? Was that a movie?
Sure.
So I figured for some reason I thought yesterday would be a very cute movie, like whimsical enough and nice story that we can sit through.
Right.
So the movie started, let's say, at 9:20.
Uh-huh.
We were on that train. That train did not want us to get there on time. I see your face. We'd never get anything on time either.
So you're going to see a movie for the first time in your life for fun as opposed to work.
Right.
Like the film nerds, kind of, that's a job.
It is a job, yeah.
You couldn't make it on time.
Well, we know that the first 20 minutes is commercials. And then I have Keith
Fair.
in my head. I'm like, I still should have come early because he's going to want to know how I feel about all these commercials.
You would have found out about other movies, too.
Yeah, but I hate watching trailers for other movies because you might as well just have seen the movies. There's spoilers and everything. And by the way, yesterday...
Who cares? You're never going to see the movies. So watch these movies. It would have been like, that's why you paid $30 for 10 movies. It's a multiplex in one theater, in one room.
I kept thinking it wasn't going to happen. Like, I didn't want to buy tickets ahead of time because I'm like, we're just going to get there. It's going to be closed somehow.
Right.
Like, we're going to miss the entire thing because we read it wrong. So
do you come... You miss the previews. Do you miss any of the movie?
we walked in on the first scene.
How do you know?
It feels like the first scene. There's music. It's not talking. They're setting a scene.
Okay.
And it repeats itself, because they know people are walking in during this
Right.
time. So there's like hardly anyone in the theater. The guy at the box, he picked our seats. We did not go to those seats.
The guy at the box office?
Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't go to those
Oh,
seats.
bad boy.
Rebels.
Do you try out 3 different seats? You're so new to this.
Well, it seems like
It's overwhelming. Keith says 5 rows back, but that seems close.
well, we went where there's like no one in front of you. No, there were
The
people
front
in
row?
front. It's just a big theater, though.
I like a little stadium seating.
These things are huge. Also,
Yeah?
there was a whole like game playing area.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like, oh,
In the lobby.
yeah. We went to Kaufman in Astoria. There's like that basketball game. I love that game because I do better than other games.
Right.
So we're like, oh, we'll do that afterwards. Afterwards, I was like, we're leaving and we're never coming back.
You
here
were so
again.
angry at this movie.
2 hours I was in that seat,
Oh, was it not a good movie?
and we came late. Yeah, it was great. No, it was terrible.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I have my notes. Here we go. First of all, it was $33, excluding popcorn. Popcorn was about $10.
Okay, but you can't put that movie together yourself for $33. It's a deal.
I bet I can. I bet I can play you the Beatles and go,
Right.
you never heard that. Now it's coming out of my face. Okay. Now, I'm going to have a few spoilers, but I suggest not seeing it, so you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do they play... when he says, "Hey, I invented," I assume he does it by accident. They go, "What?" He's probably at a picnic and he's like, "Imagine there's no heaven," and they're like, "That is brilliant." It's like, "Why he didn't write it?" And then he realizes what's going on.
Yeah.
Does he ever play a song and people go, "Well, I hate that one. Baby, you can drive my car. That's stupid."
Nope.
Oh.
In 2019, everyone loves
Every song.
I Want to Hold Your Hand. Okay? Everyone's twerking on stage. But this fucking guy is singing I Want to Hold Your Hand. And they're losing it. Losing it.
Every song's a hit.
Every age group.
They all love it.
Love it. They can't get over it. And he's ugly, too, so it's got to be the music.
Right. Does he get a haircut like them? Like a mop top?
No, he doesn't. No. No, because nobody knows what that looks like. Oh, I guess, no,
He would.
He's fighting against it the whole time. He's feeling guilty.
He
and
looks
stuff.
like he's part of the Wiggles, the dude.
That's a perfect way. Absolutely.
Imagine he came back as a Wiggle, and that's the only way he was able to make it, and that's where all the Beatles songs went. It was just the children demographic hearing these great songs.
Well, so here's what actually happened to him, and this isn't a spoiler because this is just what happened.
These are just the facts. Okay.
It's based on a true story, right?
He gets hit by a bus.
Okay.
So he wakes up and he lost 2 teeth. Haha, that's very funny. We got a lot of jokes out of that, you guys. Very hilarious. And then so then he's with his friends who are fans of
And
his.
British people have bad teeth. Is that the joke?
No, they don't make fun of themselves for that. That's more like here we make fun
Okay.
of them. Yeah. So he's there. Oh, they got him a guitar because they're close friends of his. The relationship between the friends is actually fun because they roast him and it's nice.
Nice.
So they're like, all right, play a song, and he goes, well, big day, big song, and he sings Yesterday, and everyone's like, and And it was beautiful, and it was the perfect song for that scene. So they're crying. They're like, when did you write that? And he's like, ha ha, it's the Beatles. And they're like, Beatles?
Right.
Beatles?
But by the way, if you never heard of a band, you wouldn't say it like that. Like if I go,
No, they dealt with that okay.
whose song is this?
Yeah.
And I go, Buck Cherry, you go, excuse you? I'd be like, all right, I'll look up Buck Cherry if I want.
Yeah.
They did talk about that, where one of the friends was like, oh, he's a musician, so he doesn't understand that every obscure little band of his, he's going to show off and we're supposed to know about it. And he's like, the Beatles.
Man, they really got a lot out of that one line.
The Beatles. And so he thinks they're fucking with him.
Right.
And he's like, this isn't funny. I just hit my head, and they're like, okay, but it's a beautiful song. Do you have any others? But he's not buying it. The main girl, who's his manager, is driving him home. And still, he's like, come on, you're messing with me. And she's like, well, I know you're on these meds. Like, is that affecting you? He's like, I do like the meds. And she's like, no, but I don't know who these Beatles are that you're talking about. And that song was beautiful. And he goes, pull over. He gets angry, leaves the car, and she's like, okay. And he just drives home. Starts pouring rain as soon as she pulls away. Your friend just got hit by a bus. You just picked him up from the hospital. He thinks he's seeing Beatles music.
Yeah.
That's like me going, hey, you guys want to hear my cockroach song? I just hit my head, okay? Oh, no, I'm getting angry at you. I walk away. She just said you're on heavy medication.
She just heard him sing yesterday. She's like, listen, he might be tortured, but that was some good shit.
Right.
Let him be in the rain. Let's see what else comes out of this.
They keep hurting him throughout the
and then
movie.
he comes back and he's like, listen, I was just in a yellow submarine.
And this is what I'm assuming. I'm assuming Pepsi paid for all the Beatles music because they made Coke not exist in the movie. Which was funny the first time, although they pushed it. So the mom...
Is he like, I'd like a Coke? And they're like, what?
But even worse. The mom hands him she puts a can of Pepsi on his desk. He still lives with his parents. And he goes, Mom, do you have any Coke? What? Your mom just gave you a can of anything? Do you have... What? Here's some 7-Up. I prefer Sprite. What? Who says, do you have Coke over Pepsi? And I do like Coke over Pepsi. I like Diet Coke over Diet Pepsi. But my mom hands me a Diet Pepsi and be like, the Beatles! But that was their fun little Coke joke. So he would order like a Coke on the...
Does he try to figure out what else isn't existing? So it's not just Beatles, it's Coke. What else never happened?
So that's what happens. He comes home and he Googles the Beatles and all he sees is, insects.
Right.
And then he Googles like Childish Gambino. And he's like, okay, he's there. And he Googles like Oasis and they're there.
Right.
And the Rolling Stones, they're there.
Like 9/11, did it happen?
He didn't check for that. But then, throughout the movie, it's like, so apparently... So Coke doesn't exist, and like
That would be funny, that scene. He's looking up the Holocaust. Yeah. I mean, who the fuck knows?
Right, yeah. So so then he becomes a big deal like right away, because you know how the Beatles did. But
what? He's playing in a club, and the audience is like, this is amazing. And then what? The Tonight Show calls him.
Kinda.
Okay.
Like at first it was
you know, the couch at Carson.
It happened even faster than that. At first, he was doing it, and people weren't paying attention because he was just in places where people are just actually not paying attention. Then, one like huge person who's already on tour picks him up, like, "Will you open for me?"
Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
Okay.
And then he plays like a half an hour to open for him, and everyone loses their fucking mind. They don't know a word of any of the songs, but they got their
follow him.
Their lighters are out at the same time. Like they're just bouncing to the beat. They're singing along to like repeated things, and it's just people know the Beatles whether they like it or not. So
and you say it's all these songs. It's boy band stuff and it's the good drug songs, right?
It's everything.
Okay.
They really covered a lot. And
Right.
they do a cute job because, if the Beatles didn't exist, then you can't look up the lyrics, and you always think you know all the lyrics. So he's like figuring it out, like, oh, what happened with the rice and, Father McKenzie? Is it Father McKenzie with the picks up the rice and the bun? And he's trying to work it out. See the looks on your face?
And then
see
he
how
just
interesting
like
that was?
doses to try to get the lyrics. He just
Right.
starts doing shrooms.
well, like the song, for example, "Why Don't We Do It in the Road?" is very good, but as a one-off, it wouldn't blow your mind.
Yeah, he did
know what I
back in the USSR as one of his first sets.
And they loved it.
They loved it.
All right. Now, do you both hate this movie at the same time during the movie? Are you both rolling your eyes and you hear it?
I'm commenting harshly and he's laughing because he's still probably enjoying the Beatles aspect of it.
Right.
And I'm like, but it's dumb, right? And then now I'm being an asshole like during the movie. I'm like, okay, but just please say that this is a children's movie.
Right.
So that I can, we can go home and possibly have sex. Because I can't deal with this.
Yeah, I got to respect you to get wet.
Were you guys stoned for it?
Come on. The fuck?
And it didn't make it better?
No, I mean everything's better, but you can't.
I know.
Make a
So now
plot.
I'm thinking about how awful this would be for the sober folks.
I would like to put down in the ground, to bury a couple plot lines. Can we get rid of?
Okay.
Can you stop fucking running through an airport? Could you please?
Could you do that in this world? Can you run through the gate, no problem?
Oh no, the dog bites your leg instantly. Your ankle's clamped.
Can we also stop? So the love interest, which they fucking pushed so hard. She's mad at him because he was supposed to know that she's been in love with him for 10 years. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know how she acted this well because she had to blow up out of nowhere. I can't believe it. And he's like, what? And I'm sitting there in the audience what is this fucking plot line? Yeah, again, the confused looks on your face. Absolutely. So he wants to admit, this is the spoiler for the end, okay?
Okay.
He's like, okay, I can't deal with this. The album's about to drop, but it's not my music, and I don't know how to live taking credit for such incredible songs.
Right. But you already affected a lot of people's lives, so put out the album.
And also, nobody knows who you're talking about. So, what are you confessing? These people that are in my brain wrote this? So he gets on stage, confesses that he didn't write it, names the Beatles by name, even though he met John Lennon in this movie, and he was like, yeah, I don't know.
He met John Lennon?
Yeah.
Paul McCartney?
No, John Lennon, because he didn't die.
And they just weren't musicians?
Right.
What were they? What did John Lennon do for a living?
Coach Little League.
So, yeah, he has a really normal life, and he's really happy. So that's the lesson.
And nobody wanted to kill him.
Right, because he's not John Lennon.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, so he got to live until he's 78. So now he's naming John Lennon, saying he wrote it.
So the message is if he wasn't a Beatle, he would have been fine.
Right.
Yeah.
This guy's life would have been so much better without all that success.
And then he says, and I'm in love with this girl. Meanwhile, this girl came with her boyfriend. So
Well, love's complicated.
I hate these endings where it's like, fuck this nice guy who has been with her this whole time, who picked up the pieces when this guy was like, see you later, and came to the concert with you knowing that you professed your love to him.
Right.
She left him.
But I'll be over, yeah, no big deal.
And then they just started breaking out into a unified song to make him feel better. And he was like, you know what? It's not that bad.
Yeah, but you could see
We can work it out.
no, that's cool. No biggie. But you could see during the breakup that there's this other girl sort of close by so that we can feel better. Oh, they're breaking up, but obviously this girl in the distance likes him. And then in the next scene, they're together and we're like, we didn't want anyone's life to be uprooted.
Thank God they fucked that night.
Yeah, it's
I was so
okay.
worried.
He's not going to be alone.
And then on the screen, it says in parentheses, everyone's happy.
Right, but meanwhile, it's
You know what happened? They got to the end of writing it, and they were like, I don't know if we could make just a guy get dumped like that. And they're like, just put a girl in the background.
Yeah.
Have her look pretty, wink at him. That's it. They'll be happy. And that's all it takes.
You know what? He invents Guns N' Roses. The end.
Yeah.
That guy actually just becomes the Beatles.
But meanwhile, you're the second choice. Obviously, she was with him as a second choice. No PTSD gonna happen there,
Right.
You know. And then this girl who was in the background is the second choice too. You're like, is it my turn? Are they breaking up? I'll just be over here. Ew! What are you teaching? What is happening?
Did you stay till after the credits?
No.
Is Ringo a serial killer?
He's the Unabomber.
As we're walking outstairs, he's like, you don't want to make sure there's something after? I'm like, I've been rolling my eyes too long. It was 2 hours and we were late.
Wow. That is pretty lengthy.
Nothing happened in the movie.
So the album didn't come out. Life went back to just
Oh.
no beat. Did the Beatles go back to existing?
At least,
No.
yeah.
Did, John Lennon
No,
piss in a fountain and lightning struck him, and it was like, oh, the Beatles are back.
I mean, we should still know this music no matter who wrote it.
Yeah,
No,
I can't
they
let it-
thought of that. So he's like, I'm not going to sell this. I'm just going to give it for free. He pressed a button. It was available for download for free, so everyone can have it.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
so he's still got all the fame. He's still gonna get his sponsorships and.
Right. What's the service, by the way? You just press a button. I want to use that for my album.
Kate McKinnon was the only wonderful thing. There was like a best friend comic relief guy who just was like, bumbly and stumbly and, oh, did I say the wrong thing again?
Was
oh,
it Ricky
did
Gervais?
did I not do the right thing again, even though you paid me?
Right.
Oh, God.
You're
Foot and mouth again.
So you're never going to a movie again.
Oh, probably not. You'd literally have to pay me. I don't know. The 33. This is your imagination?
Did you bring in snacks? Do you know about that?
I have been wanting movie popcorn for so long. That was a joy.
You did get it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't look when he put butter on because I don't know how to watch that much butter go on popcorn.
Oh, they're animals out there.
Yeah, it's good, though.
You ever seen the people who put like the straw up into the butter pump so it goes to, like the bottom of the bag?
Oh, that's a
Oh.
technique.
Yeah, someone showed me a video of that on a podcast like a year or two ago. Like their girlfriend puts the straw on the bottom of like the butter nozzle and then puts it into the bag, so then you even it out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been dumping the popcorn on that little table, buttering it, and then putting the popcorn back in. It's
Individual
a mess.
with each piece.
It's a mess.
And then we go down into the train. They don't tell you before you pay for the train. They
The
tell
subway.
you, yeah. They tell you when you're on the platform, this train is not fucking running. You have
Yes.
to go back, then forth. And I'm like, fuck this. We walked
And then
home.
you're like, what if trains don't exist?
Yeah.
But it's just like the train was delayed going there. The train stopped working on the way back. I mean, it might as well have rained the whole time. It was just,
By the way, so he puts out the album for free.
yeah.
How big's this album? Like, what songs did we get? 12?
It was a double.
Is the double album? Okay, good.
And there were, before that, there were like 4 or 6 teaser songs.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got a decent amount.
Yeah, but I'm just curious, what does the world get? We only get 2 albums worth of the Beatles?
He eventually
Yeah.
does Old Town Road.
Well, they tried to, because if you think about it, there's not really a lot of strife in this movie. There's not
Right.
anything for him to really get over. So they tease us with this. Obviously, 1 or 2 audience members know the Beatles and know the music. And they come to a concert with a yellow submarine in their hand.
Oh.
And so we're like, oh, they're going to expose him. They meet him after the show one time. After, like, in a press conference, they go, which one was your favorite, John, Paul, or Ringo? And it's like, oh, shit. They
Right.
know. They meet him afterwards, and he's like, okay, yeah. And they're like, you didn't write it. And he's like, I didn't write it. And they're like, but thank you for putting it out. We've been missing it so hard. And it was just a beautiful kumbaya moment where they thanked him for taking the credit. They're like, we know all the words too, but we don't sing. So it's so lovely.
The movie should be about that person.
Right.
The person who just can't sing at all.
They make... But do they explain how these other people know about the Beatles?
Nope.
They were driving the car that hit him.
62% on Rotten Tomatoes by critics, 90% by the regular person.
Really?
I think he really sang those songs really beautifully, and that's all you can. And Kate McKinnon, like anything.
She
that
is great. I love her.
She had these like she was just a cunt the whole time, and she just did it so perfectly.
Yeah.
It like the jokes landed and they were great. And I just felt bad for everybody else who had to run those lines. Ugh. I
So,
feel bad.
Overall, thumbs down. Don't go.
Yeah, I really wanted to like it. I was all into it. I was going to be into the silliness. I
Right.
believed he was the only one, you know, like let me bathe in this stupid idea and like
You really bought into it. You went
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
And it let you down.
big time.
Sorry to hear.
That's why you should have just stayed in and went on Netflix.
Yeah. You know what else doesn't happen at the movie theater? Smoke breaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a weekday. Could you have just smoked right there? Smoked right there?
Think of that. Why not? We're eating popcorn. Everybody can hear everybody else chewing. What the fuck? Disgusting.
So you said not many people were there, so nobody was sitting right next to you?
No.
Okay.
No. He almost sat right in front of someone because it was the aisle, and I was like, no, they took down their feet off this chair
Right.
for us as if we were going to sit there. No, we don't get to sit there.
There you go. Do you like the bathrooms? Anything enjoyable?
I was like, no, we're going home. He's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom after the movie. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. We're going to be home in 15 minutes. I'll pee there. And then I'm like, fuck. The train's fucked up. Like, we're walking home.
You were so mad. You were like, "This was your idea. You can't piss."
No, he was able to piss.
Oh,
I was
you
like,
let him. I thought you were
yeah.
like, "I didn't let him pee.
No,
We
no.
left."
I know that my stepson, 11 years old, he wants to see Chucky, Child's Play, and it's rated R. And I asked the audience, should Keith take his 11-year-old stepson to see Child's Play? 42% say it's fine.
Huh.
There you go.
What do you think? Did you see? That's like,
Yeah, when I was younger, my parents took me and my two friends to see Borat in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have been older than maybe 11,
Okay.
and that was horrific for my parents. That's a tough movie to bring children to.
Do things just go over your head, though?
I loved it. I think I internalized it all. Take him.
Okay.
No, I think, well, who cares? Doesn't make you a bad person, right?
no, it's not a bad person, but
I just ended up saying my wife way too much at a young age.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like 11 years old actually could be ready for a lot of things, but he seems like kind of a young. He's so sweet and innocent still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just a horror movie. It's not like it's going to open on Chucky ripping lines.
Right.
Yeah, like, does he really need to think something's coming out of the darkness right now? You know what I mean? Am I being too overbearing?
I don't know. I just know it's an easy way to be better than the actual dad.
Yeah.
Because the actual dad is taking him to Toy Story and this kind of thing. And now I'm the fucking edgy one.
Yeah.
Take him to bocce. You know what I mean?
I
A
hear
little
you.
shuffleboard, son.
See what you're saying, Dan.
But how exciting. You're always going to remember the guy that took you to your first R-rated movie.
Yeah, but later you'll put it together that you weren't supposed to.
Yeah, by 24, he'll be like, "Was he the cool one?"
Right. That's like, when you're 16, you're dating a 26-year-old. It's like, I'm so fucking cool. But then when you're 26, you're like,
Yeah.
ooh, that wasn't hard to do for that guy.
Speaking of Toy Story, if you buy the movie Toy Story 2 now, it's missing a scene that they put at the end of the credits. It's a scene where the Prospector toy is hitting on two Barbies and being sexually inappropriate. Almost like a...
And which Toy Story is this? The latest one?
The second one. There's four now. This is the second one, and they took out a scene. This is it.
And so you two are absolutely identical? I'm sure I could get you a part in Toy Story 3. I'm sorry, are we back? Oh, all right, girls. Lovely talking with you. Yes, anytime you'd like some tips on acting, I'd be glad to chat with you. All right, off you go then.
And then they go, all right, that's too much nowadays.
It's so weird they snuck that in there.
Yeah.
That's so funny because that was too much all the days.
Right.
But now we're just like, yeah, we could get in trouble for that.
But when in the Toy Story writers' room, they're like, "You guys seen Casting Couch? Put that in there." That's awful.
A little after the credits bonus, so
Yeah.
it lingers.
Oh, that was after the credit. That was for the parents, like walking out of the studio to be like, "Wasn't that bad?" That was just to hear on the way out.
But remember the cartoons that we used to watch? What was that skunk who...
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew. Do you remember him?
No,
This is so great. So
Pepe Le Pew.
yeah, it
I
was-
know the name.
it was a skunk, and he had this accent, and he really talked like that, and he was after her all the time.
He was
So-
after a cat. A black cat had paint spill on her back, so she had white paint. She looked like a skunk, and the actual skunk would not take no for an answer.
Like, really no, so he'd like
And that was
catch
the whole
her.
show?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, the
She
entire
had paint
show.
on her the whole show.
Every show, a new thing of paint fell on her.
yeah, it
What
was
an
like
unlucky
it was-
cat.
It was like a series, like Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he would be like, "Oh, you," and she'd be like, "No," and she'd literally run away. He'd get in front, get ahead of her, hold her hard. She's trying to escape the whole time, trying to get out of his grip while he goes, "I will love you forever. I will treat you like a queen." And she's like pushing and pushing until she escapes. Then he runs again. He catches her again. He like sets up things to catch her, and she's.
Is this on reruns?
This is like it's just like Tom and Jerry, just like Mickey Mouse, just like all those things. It's just.
I've never seen it.
Well, everyone's so uptight nowadays, you'll never see it.
No.
You will want to make
Cancel
love to me. I love you.
Right. And I didn't think about it. I was a kid, and I'm like, she can't get away.
That's actually, and I'm not kidding.
I mean, Chucky is probably less fucked up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably worse
yeah.
for a child
Yeah.
to see. Like, wow, they can't get away when I hold them. That's an awful message.
yeah, that is how I, started messing around, it was guys chasing, and it's like, well,
Right.
I guess I should just, we're
You know,
here.
one day you just spilled paint on yourself.
Hello, boys.
Is this how I do it?
I will be aggressive.
Dan, you can follow online. Dan LaMorte on Twitter and Instagram. The website,
Yes.
Dan LaMorte,
.com.
LAMORTE.com.
Yes.
New album just came out.
Oh, yeah. It comes out, on the 19th of July. Called
Exciting.
Infect Me Once.
Infect Me Once.
How'd you come up with the title?
It's about it's about getting an STD more than once
Oh, please share.
from the same person.
Oh, good.
It's-
Same STD.
Same STD, yeah.
Oh, lessons learned,
Yep.
huh?
Probably not. Maybe after the second one. Definitely not after the first one was the lesson
Have
learned.
you had a third STD with
No,
the same
it's
person?
been good for a long time now. 2
Good.
years. It was good to retire the bit and get that out of the rotation.
Right. What was it? What was the STD?
Chlamydia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she deny it the first time or you
Yeah.
didn't? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was okay. Then we're still friends.
No, it's great.
We're still friends. I got a bit out of it. Boom.
Is she a comic?
No.
Does,
Okay.
does she get 10% of sales?
No.
Okay.
She gets 10% of his next chlamydia.
Right.
Have you slept with each other in the past 2 years?
Not since that, no.
Okay.
Even though you had it and it goes away, you'll be going on tour, for example. The Infect Me Once
Are
tour
you saying
starts.
you hope I get chlamydia on tour?
No, I'm saying you want to get laid on tour. Are you nervous that even putting it out there, it might ruin chances of
Nah, 'cause you take like the pills and they just
Right.
bye-bye.
Are people that mature? They go, okay, I understand, or are they like, all I know is you're on tour, and it's centered around you having a sexual disease. I
Well,
wonder.
that's why I don't mind like doing the bit about it. Like I'll still, if I need to, I'll bring it out on stage. If, like it's like a disclaimer.
Right. All right. Hey, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Just living life.
Yeah. DanLamorte.com/tour. You'll see all the information there. Dan, always a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This was so fun.
Yeah. And your brain doesn't seem so fucked up to me.
No, and I'm definitely gonna hopefully remember to not go see that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Text me. I'll tell you. Don't see
Yeah.
it.
All right. Don't forget the Monday, our chat party, our newlywed game.
Yee.
Very exciting.
And if you like the show, share it so we can keep making more.